Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with Chapter 22, the final chapter in my Banner Saga 3 hard difficulty playthrough. Now, it's not quite Chapter 22 yet. I did save the final battle of Chapter 21 for this video as well, because Chapter 22 by itself is just some dialogue options and it is very, very short. So, hopefully, from the previous video, you made it through all of those battles and you finally confront Bolverk right in front of the final objective, the White Tower. And when you get there, you have some dialogue options at the start of the conversation. You can either let Bolverk ramble on for quite a while, or I believe it's the middle option, you can charge Bolverk and completely interrupt his speech. And I highly recommend that you do so, because if you don't, the battle becomes a 3-wave battle where Bolverk will sit back and wait and send 2 waves of enemies at you, and once you've defeated both waves, or after a certain amount of time has passed, the next wave will start, and when you get to wave 3, Bolverk will come in. Now, you may be more comfortable doing that, because depending on your build, maybe you are going with the strong Iver build, and you want him to just farm up some kills and get his health really high, and then you'll just blast through wave 3, and you're not worried about Bolverk anyway. There's merit to that. You can do that if you're more comfortable with it, but I found the battle to be very easy with the charge attack and knocking everything out early and not letting my team get grinded down by the earlier waves. So if you pick that charge ability, one of the main things I would say is make sure you have Iver set as your first character to go, which has not been the case throughout the rest of Chapter 21. Usually we had Valgard go as our tank to get his shield set up. You want Iver to go first, because when you do this strategy and he charges in, the battle opens with Iver standing right next to Bolverk. You charged in, right? The story reflects it, which is really cool. And then he does a headbutt to knock Bolverk back. And then you get your first turn, and after that, Bolverk gets to go. And so if you let any of your other characters take the first turn, Bolverk is going to go second, and he'll walk forward and he'll double strike Iver and do a ton of damage to him, and you'll be in kind of a handicap position. If you have Iver go first, he'll do the cinematic headbutt, knock Bolverk back, and then you'll have the first turn, and you can retreat with Iver, pull back to the rest of your squad, because he's locked in the forward position, isolated from the rest of your team if you do this strategy. So you'll set up the rest of your team in the back, and Iver's extended out kind of on an island by himself. But if he goes first, he can use that first turn to pull back, and then you can get your defense set up. Bolverk won't be able to reach you. He'll have all of his other allies start to take their turns, and everything will get cluttered, and they'll have to take a long time getting to you, and you'll be able to set up your defense, take your time, get yourself into position, and approach the battle. And by this point, all of your characters are very, very powerful. There's no weird enemies in this battle, like the burrowers, which can kind of get behind your lines and attack your weaker characters. You're going to be okay. This battle is not the most difficult battle by far of Chapter 21. There are some wave battles where you have to beat the timer or the next wave will come in that are way, way more challenging than this. If you do the Bolverk charge, it's not a wave battle. You can take all the time you need, go slow, whittle them down. There's crystals on the map, and you can shatter them to do health damage, and the enemy can shatter them to do damage to you. So I like to clear them out, the ones that are right in front of me. Don't stand right behind one. What I like, if you're going to be behind one, attack it, and it shatters opposite the direction that you were standing when you attacked it. So if your character stands behind it and attacks forward, the crystal will shoot forward 2 or 3 spaces, and if there's nothing there, it'll be gone and dissipate. If there's an enemy there, it will do direct health damage to them. So approach this then after the Iver turn, just like any other battle. Valgard can go next. He can get in front, put up his shield. You can have Ditch go stealth early and block off one of the other lanes. And the enemy then, there's lanes defined by these crystals. So put Ditch in the middle of a lane with crystals on either side. The Dredge will try to come up the middle of the lane between the crystals, bump into Ditch, and that whole spot will just be backed up and blocked off. And then you'll be able to focus Bolverk down, get him out first. Don't forget, he has a double attack, just like he did when you controlled him in the Banner Saga 2, which, in addition to being devastating if it hits you, will attack his own allies that second attack is random. So if he does get an attack off on you, which you want to avoid at all costs, but if he does, try to have it set up so that there's his own dredge allies next to him, and his second attack may then strike them instead of your own guy. You don't want him getting an isolated attack, a double attack on one of your characters. That will end very poorly for you. But if you have that set up, you've got your tanks, you've got your ranged guys behind, you're all set to go, you do some bleed damage, you get some poison damage in early, he's going to start ticking down, and then you can extend, eliminate him, and once he's done, the fight's over. It doesn't end. You literally do still have to kill all the other enemies, but they're not a threat without Bolverk on the field. And so you'll be able to eliminate the team, and then you will have completed chapter 21. You should get Bat Out of Hell right away, and then we pick up in 22, which is just some dialogue options. And they do still matter here. There are a wide range of endings that you can get in the game, and some of them are very bad, where a lot of characters die. So instead, pick the choices that I pick. Make sure you get yourself the good ending, which lets everyone stay alive. And then after you've done that, you will get the guided achievement, which I got very quickly to unlock as soon as I hit that last dialogue selection. And then both hard difficulty and finish strong unlocked all the way after the credits, like the long credit reload, title screen comes up, and then those two unlock. So you may want to hold your breath a little bit on those, but it is normal for them to take a little bit of time to unlock once you get back to the title screen. They won't unlock right away like the guided achievement did for me, as you'll see here in the playthrough. And that's it. If you've done that, you have completed a hard difficulty playthrough for the Banner Saga 3. And if you followed this guide, probably against my advice, but you can also do it with the added difficulty of the guided achievement and the Bat Out of Hell achievement for getting through chapter 21 with only one return to Arberrang. So that is going to wrap things up. Hopefully you enjoyed the video series. That's going to wrap up the Banner Saga. I played this game off and on for over a year. It was enjoyable, but boy, it was a grind, especially the Banner Saga 2. I am happy to be done with it. Pleased that I got all of the achievements across all 3 games, but ready to move on to something new. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
The world lives or dies here. This is it. seen anything like a sun coming to life. I hope I never will again. Stuck with him, just a speck so far above our heads was Juno, who turned the darkness into light. Ivan did not want to leave the sun behind as we departed the inner earth. I expect he will return there often. No warp crossed our path on the long trek home. They've all turned to ash. And now, we are coming to this journey's long end. The same thought rattling around my head the whole way. Do I dare to hope?